Every other week right here at 4, we take a close look at what's happening in the job market as the rebound from the pandemic continues.
We are joined live now via Zoom by Matt Weldon, the director of the Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training. Director, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
It's now been about 2 weeks since a new law went into effect in Rhode Island that allows people to earn more at work while still receiving partial unemployment benefits and also that $300 a week boost. So what have you been seeing in the past 2 weeks? Has this made an impact?
For sure, absolutely. We knew that allowing people to earn more, letting them know that they could earn more money working than they could collecting would help. We have data from last week. Yesterday was only the first day for this week that you can request a payment. And last week's data shows us that 445 people or so that had been working not at all, they've been collecting a full payment, went back to work part-time, and they reported those earnings. Another 590 people were working full-time, and they're no longer collecting. So that's 1,035 people that this is directly impacted. On top of that, another 4,500 people that had been working part-time were now able to hold or keep more of that money that they had been earning, which maximizes family income. We know it's working, we know the word is out, and we're going to continue to work to make sure that people take advantage of it.
And Director, I also understand there's a new tool available online that allows people to sort of calculate how much they can earn. Where do they find this, and what information will that tell them?
Sure, that's right. I think some people are still hesitant, and they're concerned that they don't know how much they could earn and still collect a benefit and stay connected to that extra $300. And so we put up a benefits calculator online, and it's just an estimated amount. It doesn't mean necessarily that's exactly what you could earn, and there is a disclaimer about that. But much like other states, we thought it would be good for people to have some clarity on how this could impact them. Go to dlt.ri.gov, and there's a link right from the home page to use that benefits calculator.
Director, 2 weeks ago, your office restarted that requirement for people on benefits to be looking for work. Curious, 2 weeks into it now, how many people have been asked to provide that information, and are people in fact looking?
I know they're looking. I would say that there's not a person in the state of Rhode Island who gets more direct email with questions about unemployment than me. Quite frankly, during the pandemic, my information became available online, and all of a sudden, I'm the most popular guy in the unemployment world. And so I get a lot of emails, and a lot of people are asking me about it. What do they have to do? How can they get information? And so I know they're taking it seriously. Brian, it's a little early for us to report out on data on how many people we've audited so far. We are building out a good, strong process around that, and people should know 2 things. One, they're going to get notice. They're going to be told that they have to send in an email and provide information to us, or they could fax it, about that work search log. They're going to have 10 days to provide that information. Once they receive that and they send it back, if there's no problems at all, they just keep collecting. They won't hear back from us. If they hear back from us, it's because we need to set up a review of their claim to ask them what's going on. If that happens, people will still be able to collect until they have a decision rendered against them. Those are due process rights. It's important that we make sure people know how it works, but I know people are taking it seriously.
Absolutely. With the jobs report that came out just last week, the New York Times looked at the monthly jobs growth, saying at the rate we're moving as a country at least, we'll be well into 2022 before we're back to pre-pandemic levels. Curious on your thoughts with if Rhode Island fits into that timeline.
I mean, Rhode Island we've been competitive with our economy. Our unemployment rate is better than Mass and Connecticut. It's right near what the April rate was for New England and the country. Last week we saw that the nation's average came down. I think Rhode Island is going to come down again when our job numbers are available for May in a couple of weeks. And I think we're going to continue to head in the right direction.
Director, just quickly, we have less than a minute left, but there's a new watchdog report that's out from the Office of Inspector General. It found $39 billion of stimulus unemployment benefits were likely wasted because of inefficient state governments. Have you read the report, and if so, what do you take away from it?
I am aware of the report. I have not read it yet. I would say, with due respect to the Office of Inspector General, right now it's easier to take a look back and do an after-action report than it was for states to, in the middle of a once-in-a-century pandemic, introduce new programs that were designed to stimulate the economy. I think our states, just like Rhode Island, went through an awful lot to make sure we can push this money out. Rhode Island has done it faster than any state in the country. I think I'm very proud of that. I know I am. And I'm proud of what my sister agencies across the country have done.
Director Matt Weldon with the Department of Labor and Training with us twice a month here at 4. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.